Is that the sweater that the song that you're talking about? Is that the specific sweater?
No, because I don't have that. That sweater's gone.
It's a rap.
She took it. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
What? There's a line from the song, like, and I was just like, this. It's powerful.
Which one?
It has a cuss in it.
Oh, the main.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It was crazy. Like we decided to keep it in there because it was.
No, I like it.
Well, because like
you needed to.
when we were writing, we were like, oh, is that like too
No.
dirty or whatever? But then it was like, this is so real. Like this is literally what you just said in the moment. Like you need to keep it in there is what me and my producer were talking about. And I'm glad we did because at the shows, everybody yells at the loudest.
Absolutely. I feel like that's the one line that everybody's like,
Yeah.
blankety blank 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 blank.
Why the?
Yeah,
You
exactly.
got it on.
So you just got off tour with Jack and Jack.
Yeah. It was
Let's
awesome.
talk about that experience. How was it touring with them?
Man, really fun. They're awesome guys.
Mm-hmm.
They
seem like they would be a good time. Like all I can see of you guys doing on your tour bus playing video games and stuff like that.
a lot of that stuff. They drink a lot of tequila.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really hard to like keep up with that because they can just go lay in their bus and we had like a Sprinter van, so we had to like I know. So we had to go. Like I never drove, but like you have to sit there awake.
It's just like
So I couldn't keep up with that, but they're like the easiest most down to earth guys in the world. Like just like didn't care about. They're just like, yeah, whatever. Like we don't, doesn't matter. And it was really cool to be on tour with people like that
absolutely.
because you're just trying to like backstage get comfortable and stuff. They're like, yeah, come in here. Like
I love when you can just hang out with people and there's no ego involved. You guys are just out and about having fun.
yeah, I mean that's what it was with them for sure. And we have a lot of the same interests. Like we both love to work out. We both love the same kinds of music. And yeah, it was incredible. It was like literally being on tour with like some of your best friends.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What's some of your favorite things to do when you're going to different cities, touring, performing, and things like that? Like, what are you doing when you guys aren't on stage performing?
We pretty much driving to the next city.
Oh, so you guys don't even like stay in the city or anything like that?
No, we do sometimes. Sometimes we literally have to leave after the show. We get there at like 2 p.m., load in, play the show, do a meet and greet, and then we leave.
Just peace out, right?
But sometimes if we get there like the night before, I mean, like in Chicago, we went to this bar that had like a batting cage in it, like and Wrigley Field was right there. And
Right.
It was just really cool to like be, immersed in that city, whatever it is. And we just like to check out the biggest food spots and coffee spots and like really, really try that because I try to eat really healthy on tour, but there's
Do
a lot
you
of
really?
places.
I mean,
I try, but another thing is all like a bunch of the fans bring like so many bags of candy. So
you eat that? Because you don't know what the
So-
killer's going to put in that candy.
well, it's like closed Starburst.
okay, fine. All right.
But
I didn't
still,
think it was like...
what the killer's gonna put in the
I'm just
candy.
saying, like, I'm trying to protect your health, bro.
I know. Well, so I don't. And they make cookies and stuff, and like that's probably a little more.
I know that, like, I need to make sure that these cookies were, like, coming from a reputable place. Because, next thing you know,
They're
you're
just in, like, a
you're
tin.
waking up in some random person's house tied down because you ate the cookies.
Yeah.
And you don't want
Yep.
that.
Yeah, I don't want that.
No.
But
It's not good for business.
But as far as the candy went, I mostly just put it in the van for everybody else, and then every once in a while, I'll just be like, get a piece here and there. But other than that, we were eating like deep dish pizza and like
God, that sounds so
Philly cheesesteaks and stuff.
I'm dieting right now, so everything
Oh,
you
I'm
say,
on a massive diet when we got back for sure. I just had
which
a
is
lot
to,
of
like...
countrywide food. But it was great. It was awesome, man. And like, we'd check out everything and everywhere.
So let's talk about, all right, so you get off tour, you get home. When you walk through that door, what is the first thing that you're doing?
Well, we drove. Our last show was in Omaha, Nebraska.
You drove your Sprinter to California.
We drove the Sprinter. By the way, the Sprinter is actually like right under the bus. It's the next best thing you could have.
Right.
Because I've been on a tour with a minivan before, and it was really rough. We were like this in the minivan.
Get away from me.
I know. So from Omaha, we end the show,
Right.
spend the night, wake up, and we start driving. We're like, all right, cool. We're going to drive like 12, 13 hours today and then go to sleep and drive. We ended up driving 23 hours straight, just decided to send it and go for it. And we drove overnight and we got in at like 11 a.m. and we were just like beyond exhausted. and I get home and I just went straight to bed.
That's the first thing you do?
Oh yeah, I didn't even unpack. I didn't unpack for like 3-4 days.
Well, I feel like that's normal, especially when you come back from a big trip.
Any trip I think is kind of like that.
So what are you doing when you're not like on stage performing? Like, what's your favorite thing to do?
Just thinking about performing on stage.
Seriously?
Yeah.
So are you constantly thinking about like perfecting your craft and whatnot?
Man, yeah. It's just like, I don't know. Everybody like keeps telling me, oh, it's gonna change. Like you're not gonna want to tour anymore. And every tour I want to tour more. Mm-hmm. So it's just my favorite thing to do. I only want to do it all the time, and I know I can't. Like I obviously like need to be
in
home
the studio,
sometimes.
like right,
yeah,
absolutely.
And I mean, when I'm here, like to actually answer your question, I'm in the studio every day, just making all kinds of weird, cool music and kind of seeing like what sticks. Right now, I'm taking a lot of chances with the writing and just really like going there, like going beyond what I'm used to writing, which is really cool. And a lot of the stuff we're getting is really cool. I'm collabing with some other artists and people, and then going on tour very soon.
What's the hardest thing about writing? You were saying taking it there. Are you talking about going to a different space? If you know what I mean?
Well, the hardest thing when I was like first starting to write was like getting to that like emotional spot, whether it's like an introspective thing or like a story that I don't want to like relive or whatever that was. Like that was the hardest thing about like being real. Mm-hmm. And then when that started coming together, lately taking it there means like, oh, let's just like flow and like see, like literally write what comes out of me, and try to write some like different stuff than what I was writing. Kind of go to a different space. It's actually the perfect way to describe it. Is just go to a completely different space I've never been before and see what happens.
What's the motivation for that?
The motivation is I hear a lot of music. Most music that I hear kind of sounds very similar. Mm-hmm. And it's gotten to a point where like I'll hear something and I can almost predict what's going to happen. I'm like, oh, here comes that 808 snare thing coming in like right here. And I don't like feeling like that. And whenever I hear a song somewhere that's like so different, for instance, Billie Eilish, when I first like heard her, I was like, whoa, this is so cool.
Because that's a completely different sound that you hear on the radio.
Totally. And
from
then
Bad
like
Guy to When the Party's Over.
That's what I'm saying. And like that's the coolest thing about her as an artist. But music too is just like I get really excited when I hear that. So that's why I try to create that. Because it excites me as well. I don't want to be like in the studio like, all right, let's write a bridge. Just, like hurry up, let's get done. I want to be like when I leave, I want to be like sending it to everybody.
You wanna I guess have something that's more meaningful.
Yes, definitely more meaningful.
Do you ever like, let's say you're driving around Ventura and there is a song that you hear on the radio? Is there ever a thought in your mind like you're like, man, I can do this better?
Sort of. I think it's more like instead of like I do this better, it was like, oh, I wish I had the chance to like to be here so I could have my my art be shown in this way. Mm-hmm. But I usually just change the channel or something. I'm like, I don't really. I've heard this song.
All right, move on.
Yeah.
What are you currently listening to?
Man, it switches up all the time. Right now, I'm listening to Frank Ocean actually. Mm-hmm. And I know it's kind of old, but I like go back and forth between a bunch of stuff. Like I said, like Billie Eilish, I'm listening to her album a lot on repeat.
Any oldies or anything like that?
Yeah, all the time. That's always in the rotation.
Like what?
The Temptations.
Oh, nice.
I love the Temptations.
Favorite Temptation song?
Ain't Too Proud to Beg.
Wow.
Right now, that's my favorite. But it changes. Like Just My Imagination was my favorite like last week.
That's a good one. Ain't Too Proud to Beg is a really good one.
It's so good. It starts off as like,
I know you want to leave. Yeah. Have you ever watched that movie?
It's literally my favorite music. Like, like, what are those called again? Like music.
Movies? No.
But yeah, but like
genre.
You know how it's like not a documentary, but it's like a story of.
Any help from the audience, guys? Biopic.
It's my favorite biopic.
Thank you, guys. You guys are amazing.
Yeah, that one's crazy, and it's so well done. And that's actually how I found out who the Temptations were. I saw it when I was like 6 or 7.
Probably on VH1, running for 3 days in a row.
Yeah, it's like 6-hour movie.
Yeah, I know.
It's crazy.
It's really interesting when you watch it. Absolutely, like how they all had like, and how he would jump on stage, and they're up there. Like, where was the security at?
Not there.
Obviously.
Yeah, I remember that. He just like walked into that club and jumped up on the stage
and took the mic away. Have you guys ever seen that movie?
It's
like,
so good.
It's a really good movie.
Yeah,
what else? What else oldies? What other oldies are you listening to?
Always Elvis, all the time. Always have Elvis on. He's like my biggest inspiration in life. You know, like even like if you consider like 90s oldies, like
absolutely
I love Green Day. I listen to like everybody says I listen to like a bunch of different, like I listen to everything, but I really do. Like I love all that kind of. I've actually been listening to Nirvana lately a little bit, which is pretty cool.
Do you use that and bottle it up and use it as inspiration and come out with something else?
Totally.
Really?
Yeah. Like in one of my songs, Freaking Out, we have this like snare drum sound that we kind of mimicked off of an Elvis song from 1957 and just kind of had it sound like that. And I used like little things from each song, like Nirvana, a lot of the lyrical content. I love to like kind of try to put my own spin on that.
Absolutely. So when are you going back out on tour?
I'm going back out on tour in August, and I'm going to be doing just a few dates here and there, and those will be announced pretty soon. That
sounds legit. All right, so before we go, I want to get some Would You Rather questions. I want to see what your
favorite part.
Seriously?
Yeah, I love Would You Rather.
All right, here we go. Would you rather be married to a 10 with a bad personality or a 6 with an amazing personality?
A million percent a 6 with amazing personality. I know it's like the nice guy answer, but first of all, a 6 is, I mean, if you said like 2, then it might be a different story.
All right, let's say 2 then. A -15. There you go. You're welcome. See?
A -15?
-15.
What is that even? Is that even a person anymore?
Maybe.
Just a dead fish, literally?
Possibly.
A -15?
However your mind perceives a -15.
Probably a 10 with a bad personality at that point.
No, say the nice guy answer. -15, amazing personality.
I'm just kidding. A -15. But I will say, you're like, how bad is personality? This is what I'm saying. This is why I love
the personality. Okay, so you guys go to your favorite sushi spot that you've been going to for years, right? And you just bring her here after a couple of months of dating, and you have a favorite waiter who is like, you know, your dude whenever you come to this restaurant, and she is bad-mouthing him and talking down to him and is the worst person ever.
15.
Yeah.
-15.
I had to go a little in depth for that.
Yeah.
You're
I
welcome.
really especially don't like people who like talk down to waiters.
Absolutely.
It's the worst thing that has ever happened.
I think that shows you what type of person someone is when they act like that.
Yeah, I have some stories about that.
Let's discuss later.
Yeah.
All right. Would you rather have unlimited international first class tickets or never have to pay for food at a restaurant?
Unlimited first class tickets, 1,000,000%. I've only been on one first class flight ever, and it was the best moment of my life. And
the drinks,
the
and
airline
the
lounges.
Yes.
I'm just like,
which airline was it? Do you want to say?
It was American.
American, something special in the air. Yeah. It is definitely something special in the air when you fly first class.
Yeah, it
with
was.
them.
Is that their slogan?
It was like back in like the 80s.
Yeah, that's.
You guys remember that?
I would go with that because I don't know. That's just like it's the best thing ever.
All right.
When you're chilling on first class and you can lay down all the way.
I would go for food, but you can see that. Would you rather be completely insane and know that you're insane, or completely insane and believe that you're sane?
Say the second one again.
Or completely insane and believe that you're sane.
Oh, insane and know that I'm insane, because I feel like some of the best songwriters were insane.
I'm trying to tell people that. I feel like there is a fine line between genius and crazy person.
Very.
You know what I mean?
Fine. Yeah.
And you'll just be popping out hits if that was the case.
Yeah, no, it's definitely the truth, man. And like, I feel like in order to be in music in general, you got to be a little bit crazy.
Absolutely.
But you just got to find the right people that
will tell you that you're crazy.
Yeah, tell you that you're crazy and won't take offense to you being crazy sometimes.
100%.
Yeah.
All right. Would you rather have your Twitter DMs hacked and let everyone see all of your DMs, or text your mom a pic meant for someone else?
Could it just be like, a salad that I meant to send to my friend?
No.
I'm 1,000,000% letting you get in my DMs. I don't know why. I think I'm so smart with DMs.
Like, I'm sure people probably DM you something ridiculous.
There's some really insane ones.
What's the, I guess, most insane DM that you've gotten?
Oh.
The PG version.
I've gotten this a few times, a handful of times, and it's so funny to me every time I get it, but people trying to pay me for feet pictures.
You are okay. All right. So I put this question. Sorry, I put this question on my Instagram story. Like, what's the most insane DM that you've ever gotten? And regular people say that. And I interview a couple of other people, and apparently the feet pictures is a thing.
It's a big thing, man. I like I said, I've gotten it.
How much are they paying?
Well, I never inquired.
I'm just saying.
But
there's always a side hustle.
Some person said that like my rate that I pay people is like $1,200 for feet pics. I just was like, I don't love to get that. Like, I don't even open them. I just like, you know how you can read them but not accept.
I would be like, this is my Venmo. This is my this is my cash. If we are paying what $1,100, you said $1,200 or $1,100.
Yeah, it was more than $1,200
for some feet pictures.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, that's some easy money.
I'll tell my friends, they're like, do it. What are you doing? Do it. I'm like,
why? Like, why not though?
I know it's not that weird, but it just feels weird. I would never nah.
All right, fine.
I'm just not in for it.
Let's move on. Would you rather have to read aloud every word or sing everything you say aloud?
Read aloud every word.
Really?
No, what was the first one?
Would you rather read aloud every word you read or sing everything you say aloud?
Definitely read aloud words because I don't read that much.
Mm-hmm.
And as a singer, if you're singing every single word, your voice will get so tired so fast.
Oh, yeah.
Because like the days where I have to do like where I'm doing like so much press and I'm singing acoustic like this acoustic thing 6 times, I'm like, whoa, like really hurt. It really hits your voice. So I'd definitely just be at a coffee shop reading a text. Hey, when are you home? Can I pick up my feet pics? I had them printed to your address.
This whole feet picture thing is blowing my mind. $1,200?
I'm gonna screenshot and send it to you next time.
Please. And
that one might be still in there because I didn't accept it, so it's probably still in there.
Have you guys ever heard that before? Like people feet pictures and stuff like that.
It's a big thing. You know.
I don't know why I'm like blown away. Let's talk later. Okay, so let's do a fast round. Here we go. What's next? Dream collaboration.
Bruno Mars.
Great choice.
Yeah, favorite.
Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
On tour.
Favorite thing to do? Touring.
Touring.
Love it. Listen, no judgment. I like it.
So fun, man.
It sounds like a good time. Just on stage,
amazing
feeling
time.
the crowd. Here we go. Favorite thing to do when you're not working?
Working out is probably my favorite thing to do. Yeah.
Okay.
I love to go to the gym.
Which one do you go to?
I just I go to LA Fitness.
The one over
in Universal City.
Yeah. Right.
But I just bought a gym membership to this little boutique one close to my place because I wanted like a change of scenery. It's great.
If you can say one thing to everyone that supports you, what would you say?
Thank you so much. I love you, and I know it's cliche, but I actually couldn't do it without them. So it's super special that they like what I put out and connect to it. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I appreciate you stopping by.
Yeah, man. Thank you for having me.
Of course.
I got some screenshots to send to you.
Let's do it.